female police officer ever recorded in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom. When this drunk driver facing a DUI charge made the catastrophic mistake of accusing a female officer of sexual assault during a sobriety test, what happened next would not only expose her lies, but show the world how false accusations destroy innocent careers and why body cameras are the only thing standing between truth and career destruction. This story shows us what happens when someone uses the Me Too movement as a weapon to avoid consequences. When a drunk driver mistakes judicial compassion for gullibility, and when a woman discovers that falsely accusing another woman of sexual misconduct is the fastest way to turn a misdemeanor into a felony. But before we dive into this explosive confrontation between calculated lies and undeniable video evidence, less than 2% of you watching are actually subscribed. So please, hit that subscribe button, because this story about false accusations and the power of body camera truth deserves to reach everyone who needs to understand that lying about sexual assault makes it harder for real victims to be believed. It's a Friday night in early November, and Providence Municipal Court is in a special evening session handling DUI arrests from the previous night. The courtroom has a different energy than daytime proceedings. The defendants are tired, hungover, scared. The consequences are more severe. A DUI isn't just a fine. It's license suspension, possible jail time, mandatory classes, and a permanent criminal record. At exactly 7:15 p.m., the bailiff calls the next case. Christine Morgan, driving under the influence. Through the courtroom doors walks Christine Morgan, a 29-year-old marketing consultant. Even now, 18 hours after her arrest, she still looks disheveled. Her expensive blouse is wrinkled, her makeup is smudged, her designer handbag hangs awkwardly from her shoulder. But what's most noticeable is her demeanor. She's not showing the embarrassment or remorse that most DUI defendants display. Instead, there's something defiant in her posture, something calculating in her eyes. She approaches the defendant's stand with the careful steps of someone whose blood alcohol level might still not be completely normal. Judge Caprio looks up from his paperwork with the experienced eye of someone who has seen hundreds of DUI cases. He can usually tell within seconds whether a defendant is going to take responsibility or try to fight the charges. Christine Morgan, Judge Caprio begins, his voice carrying the measured authority of 35 years on the bench. You're charged with operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. This arrest occurred last night at approximately 11:45 p.m. on Westminster Street. How do you plead? Christine's response is immediate, and her voice carries an edge of victimhood that sets off alarm bells for anyone who has dealt with false accusers before. Not guilty, Your Honor, and I need to tell you that what happened last night was completely inappropriate. The arresting officer violated me. Judge Caprio sets down his pen. That gesture that signals something significant is about to happen. Ms. Morgan, that's a serious allegation. Can you explain what you mean by violated? Christine takes a breath, clearly having rehearsed this moment. Your Honor, Officer Sarah Mitchell performed a field sobriety test on me. During that test, she touched me inappropriately. She put her hands on my body in ways that were unnecessary and made me extremely uncomfortable. This was sexual assault disguised as police procedure. The courtroom falls completely silent. This isn't a routine DUI defense. This is an accusation that could destroy a police officer's career, reputation, and life. Judge Caprio's expression becomes very serious. Ms. Morgan, you're accusing Officer Mitchell of sexual assault during a field sobriety test? Yes, Your Honor. I was already upset about being pulled over. I'd only had 2 glasses of wine with dinner, but when she started touching me, I felt violated. I felt like she was using her authority to assault me. Officer Sarah Mitchell has been sitting quietly in the back of the courtroom waiting to testify. She's a 34-year-old police officer with 12 years of experience, a spotless record, and a reputation for professionalism. When she hears Christine's accusation, her face goes pale. She stands up. Your Honor, that is absolutely false. I conducted a standard field sobriety test exactly as I've been trained. Judge Caprio holds up his hand. Officer Mitchell, I'll hear from you in a moment. Please sit down. The officer sits, visibly shaken, but following the judge's instruction. Judge Caprio turns back to Christine. Ms. Morgan, this is an extremely serious accusation. Sexual assault is a felony. If what you're saying is true, Officer Mitchell could face criminal charges, lose her job, and be placed on a sex offender registry. Do you understand the gravity of what you're claiming? Yes, Your Honor. I understand completely, and I'm telling you what happened. I felt violated. As a woman, I know when another woman is touching me inappropriately. Subscribe to Judge Stories if you believe false accusations destroy innocent lives and make it harder for real victims to be heard. Judge Caprio leans forward, his full attention on Christine. Ms. Morgan, I want you to tell me exactly what happened last night.